guys, it's Gaia, what's up, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm about to go into my third year at Nottingham Trent University and I study psychology and criminology. Today I'm giving you all the tips and life hacks you need on how to budget for university. If you're currently a student while watching this, you'll know that being a student financially sucks. At university, you're not only thrown into meeting new people and doing a new course, but you also have to learn to budget money so you don't, starve. Little disclaimer though, this is a very general budget advice video because everyone has different financial situations, life schedules and responsibilities. So you might find all of this applies to you, or you might find only some of it applies to you, and that's okay. If you do find this video helpful, don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up. And if you want more university advice and to join our YouTube family we've got growing, feel free to click that subscribe button. I'll be more than happy to have you. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight on with the video. So the first piece of advice I want to give you guys is to make sure that you have more than one bank account. A lot of students opt to open a student bank account. I did, and I really recommend it because it's great to have alongside your standard current account. It's good to have about 2 to 3 bank accounts because that way you're able to break up where your money is going and visualize your budget more. Personally, I have 3 bank accounts. One is for weekly allowances. The second one, which is a student account, is used for it's like another savings account, but I use it for if I want to treat myself or if I want to buy someone's presents, you know. It's like a savings account, but I use it still in the current time. And then the third account that I have, I think it's like a loyalty savers account. I use it for my long-term saving goals. So right now I'm saving for my I'm saving up to travel once I graduate, so that money in that long-term saving account will go towards that. At the end of the day, it is really hard to budget when all of your different streams of income are mixed together, and even if you aren't a visual learner like myself, I do really recommend just having separate bank accounts so you can force yourself just to use one and use the others for savings, so you can be strict with yourself when you're trying to save money. Number 2, set a weekly allowance. Personally, I set myself about 60 quid a week, but again, it depends on your financial situation. You could even split the weekly allowance into how much you're allowing yourself to spend on certain things. For example, I could give myself £10 for alcohol, £40 for food shop, that sort of thing, where you break it down even more. A good way to keep track of this is through a weekly planner. If you'd like more information on how to keep organised at university, I have a whole video that I recently uploaded giving you loads of different ideas and tips to use when you're at university, so if you'd like to check that out, I'll link it above. So using myself as an example, the streams of income that I have are my part-time job and my student loan. I also do get some money from my parents every month, but that goes straight into my gap year fund, so I don't touch it. So now for the next bit, I'm basically going to explain where every bit of my money goes and how I'm able to then turn that into thousands of pounds of savings. So whenever my student loan comes in, I calculate how much rent I have, and then I put that amount of money straight into my long-term saving pot until I need to transfer it to my landlord. Any extra money left from my student loan that doesn't go towards my rent, I divide up between my 2 saving accounts. I'm hoping this makes sense, by the way. Then whenever my wage comes in from my part-time job every week, I take 60 quid out of it automatically and put it into my account that I use for my weekly allowance. Again, any extra earnings that are left from that wage that didn't go towards my weekly allowance, I will then divvy up between the other 2 saving accounts. This is all because I saw something on Instagram once about this budgeting technique where basically, for example, if you have 350 quid a week, instead of spending the 300 quid and saving the 50 quid, you do the opposite. You stretch that 50 quid over the week and then you put that 300 quid straight into savings. So that way in the future you have a lot more savings to spend however you want. I use this tactic and I can confirm that this works because I currently have thousands of pounds in my savings, and I'm not saying that to flex or anything, I'm just saying that this tactic works. And if you guys take on board this advice, you'll be the same. A lot of students I know tend to basically spend whatever they have left from their student loan on designer clothes or makeup or weekend breaks away, you know, those kind of short holidays, and are left with nothing to save. Like I said before, I instead put that extra money straight into my savings and learn to use the stuff that I've got instead of splashing my cash on new things. That way, even though I don't see the money technically right now, I know that I will have enough money to spoil myself in the future when I go travel, and I will be able to do whatever I want once I'm out there because I'm not held back financially financially because I managed to save and cut corners while I was a student, while still also making sure I don't starve and have fun. So if you're looking for a way to save money, I really do recommend this technique, or if so, at least make sure you have a weekly allowance. That way you aren't spending your student loan or your part-time wages on random stuff you don't need. So the next bit of advice I want to give you guys is that since most of your uni contact hours will be online this year, stick to wearing clothes that you own instead of constantly buying new ones. Chances are you are barely going to be on campus this year, so there's no point buying clothes that no one apart from maybe your flatmates are going to see. I know when you get to university that you're going to be wanting to wear so many cute different outfits, you know, on campus, but by re-wearing the same outfits, it also cuts down on fast fashion and is also much better for the environment. Also, stay away from apps and websites that let you buy something and then pay them back over time. You know, the whole buy now, pay later scheme. Sites such as Klarna, I know it can be so tempting because you don't have any money at that point and you just really see something you really want, but if you keep doing that, you're going to end up feeling like you have no money because all of your loan will go towards paying back all those things that you bought plus any added interest. The fourth piece of advice I want to give you guys is to buy a litre of alcohol instead of going out to bars to buy drinks. For example, it's so much cheaper than going to Tesco and buying a litre of vodka for like £9 instead of going out and spending loads of money on cocktails that give you like about this much vodka. This is something I've learned while being at university. Honestly, if you keep going out for drinks, your bank balance is gonna cry. Trust me. So my advice is go to Tesco or any other supermarket, buy some alcohol, buy some mixer and stay home. This also technically works with the new government COVID curfew guidelines that we've had recently. So technically, if you stay home, you can carry on drinking throughout the night instead of having to awkwardly go home at like 10 p.m. and your night kind of be like low-key over. My next bit of advice is to invest in big food shops instead of constant takeaways. I know it can be so nice treating yourself to like a cheeky Domino's every once in a while you're at university, especially if you're stressed. I get you so much, but nothing eats into your student loan more than constant takeaways. So instead, if you want to save money, I recommend doing a big food shop every 2 weeks, maybe even a big one every week if you just go through food like that. By doing this also means that you have food in constantly, so it stops that temptation of ordering something. I've been there before where like I have basically hardly anything in the house and I'll end up convincing myself to buy myself like a Domino's. I think we are all victims of the beauty that is Deliveroo and Uber Eats, like including myself. Like I'm literally a sucker for having a Nando's delivered to my door, okay, but don't do it. And the last bit of advice I want to give you guys about saving money is to apply for a part-time job. Again, this depends on your schedule and your own personal responsibilities, but I really do recommend getting a part-time job if you can. You don't even have to work that many hours while you're a student. Like personally, I only do like 2 small weekend shifts a week, but that's enough for me to get through the week and not touch my overdraft. I found since having a part-time job at university that it also gives you the choice to spoil yourself if you want to, because you have the extra bit of cash to spare. Also, I think it really makes you appreciate money because you've worked for it yourself. You're less likely to spend it like crazy compared to if you had like a student loan, because you work several grueling hours for it and I doubt you're really just going to spend it on anything. That's why typically the students that go into their overdraft or are broke are typically the students that don't have a part-time job. So to make sure this video doesn't get too long, those are all my tips today for how to budget while at university. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this helped. Hopefully if you're worried about budgeting at university, this video has now given you some ideas to use. If it did, please give this video a massive thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. We are literally so close to 600 and every single time that subscribe button is clicked, literally it means the world. Like you guys actually light up my day. Also, if you have any other questions about budgeting or even your own advice, feel free to comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I love you all and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye!